Before the great flood came, before the ark was built, and before the world as they knew it was washed away, there was a story of corruption, warning, and grace. Today, we explore Genesis chapter 6, a chapter that shows us both the depth of human sin and the greatness of God's mercy. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1-2. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Here, sons of God is a debated phrase. Some believe it refers to angels, others to godly men from the line of Seth. Regardless of interpretation, the point is that boundaries set by God were ignored, and sin began to spread in human relationships. Verse 3. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. This doesn't mean human lifespan would instantly drop to 120 years. Rather, it's seen as a countdown, the time left before God's judgment through the flood. Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. The Nephilim were giants or mighty warriors. Their presence shows how violent and corrupt the world had become. Verse 5-7. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them. This is one of the saddest verses in the Bible. God's creation, once very good, was now filled with constant evil. The text says God regretted making humans, not because he made a mistake, but because of the pain their sin caused. This grief moved him toward judgment. Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This is a turning point. In the middle of universal corruption, one man lived righteously. It shows that God's judgment is never without mercy. Verse 9-10. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We learn Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time. And he had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Noah's life was different because he walked faithfully with God. Verse 11-13. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. The earth was corrupt and full of violence. God told Noah that the end had come for all living beings because of this wickedness. Verse 14-16. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. God gave Noah specific instructions to build an ark, its length, width, height, and materials. This wasn't Noah's idea. It was God's plan for survival. Verse 17-18. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou, and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. God announced he would send a flood to destroy all life, but he made a covenant with Noah. This is the first time covenant appears in the Bible, a promise that God would preserve Noah and his family. Verse 19-21. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee, and for them. Noah was to bring 2 of every kind of animal, male and female, and enough food for them all. This shows God's care for every creature, not just humans. Verse 22. Thus did Noah. According to all that God commanded him, so did he. This verse shows Noah's complete obedience. In a corrupt world, his faith and action stood out. Genesis 6 is a wake-up call. It shows that sin grieves God deeply, but it also reveals that God always preserves a way for the faithful. Like Noah, we're called to live righteously even when the world around us is corrupt. The ark wasn't just a rescue plan. It was a picture of salvation that points to Jesus, our ultimate refuge. Until next time, Shalom. Peace.